Finland has already become a member of the NATO alliance. Now Sweden is the next in line. A veto by Turkey has delayed Sweden's NATO campaign. Turkey is going into elections in May this year, and Sweden will become NATO's member only after the new government takes charge in Ankara. But here is the catch. The Swedish people in 17 cities across the country are staging anti-NATO protests. On 22nd of April, the Swedish capital, Stockholm, also saw hundreds of protesters hitting the streets. They were carrying placards and banners reading "No to NATO" and "NATO's war will get our children killed for $1." People are especially critical of massive NATO military exercises being held in the country. It is called Aurora 23. It was launched in Sweden a week ago. 26,000 participants from NATO member countries are currently hosted by the country. Many protesters believe becoming a NATO member would cost their country an arm and a leg. It will not only increase security threats from Russia, but will also force the government to increase the military budget. That means the government will have lesser money to spend on health and education. As per data from the World Bank, Stockholm has reduced its military budget year by year in terms of GDP percentage. 2 years back, it spent a mere 1.3% of its GDP on defense. But NATO's membership would require the country to boost its defense spending to at least 2% of its GDP. Sweden has already hiked its military budget by a record 17.3% this year. People in the country realize that being neutral in the ongoing Cold War 2.0 between NATO and Russia would cost their country much less. And factually, they are right. There are security risks too. For example, one protester said, Sweden has traditionally worked for nuclear disarmament. Once the country becomes a NATO member, politicians would have to reconsider their position. On the other hand, Russia had made it clear that there can be no more talk of any nuclear-free status for the Baltics should Sweden and Finland join NATO. There is no doubt that ongoing NATO expansion has put Russia in an uncomfortable position, and Russia could be preparing for a massive retaliation. A recent joint investigation by Denmark, Norway, Sweden and Finland revealed that Russia might be preparing for sabotaging the EU's energy supplies and undersea pipelines in the coming months. The report also revealed that some 50 so-called Russian ghost ships are believed to be operating in the North Sea as part of the sabotage plot. Now, Stockholm could also become Russia's fresh target if it decides to join NATO and host NATO's weapons. It must be noted that as per polls, a majority of people in the country support NATO's membership. Around 67% of them favor NATO. But NATO's opposition looks much stronger in the streets than on paper. As per protesters, they will keep staging anti-NATO demonstrations even after their country becomes a full-fledged NATO member. Let's see how things unfold for Stockholm in the future.